F1 isn't just a race. Her first cars go vroom vroom. It's her people who love to drive fast cars and people who love to build fast cars get intimate. If you really wanna know what F1 is, it's a competition between 10 teams. But the true secret people gets addicted to F1 lies in how F1 actually works and how crazy it can be. Like,
if it's quicker, it'll be electric. That's very unfair, but okay.
in F1 you can't win by simply racing the other cars and finishing first, because there are actually two different championships happening at the exact same time every season. One is the Drivers' Championship, the other is the Constructors' Championship. The Drivers' Championship is exactly what it sounds like. The driver who scores the most points over the season becomes a world champion. The Constructors' Championship is the The Constructors' Championship is the championship for the teams. Every team races two cars, which means two drivers. The points scored by both drivers are combined, and whichever team scores the most points over the season wins the Constructors' Championship. What makes F1 unique compared to almost every other sport is, in F1, every team has to design and manufacture their own cars. And the best part is that they get to improve the cars between each race. So the competition in F1 actually centers around the car itself. Not just how you drive it, but also how you build it, modify it, and rebuild it over and over again. In F1, every team is constantly working on their cars. They are spending millions and millions, sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars trying to invent or find any tiny improvement they can. They are fighting for tenth of hundredths of a second, which sounds ridiculous until you realize that a tenth of a second can completely change the outcome of a race weekend. It's honestly incredible to watch, because you don't get from this a pretty simple tube with an engine and four wheels to this an aerodynamic work of art made from some of the most advanced material on the planet. By accident, there is a ridiculous amount of engineering, testing, simulation, experimentation, and failure behind every single part of an F1 car. Every wing, every curve, every bend, every piece of bodywork, everything exists for a reason. Everything is trying to make the car just a little bit faster. F1 is the pinnacle of engineering evolution. Where we started with a pretty simple looking tube with an engine and wheels. Then we started thinking, how can we make this fast? Let's add something like this and see if it makes it faster. Yes, it's working. Let's keep it. Or, oops, it's not making the car faster. Let's remove it. Let's add something new and see if it makes the car faster. Maybe it worked, maybe it didn't. This process was then repeated hundreds and thousands of times. Thousands of engineers tested out millions of ideas, spent billions of dollars to make the car faster, and eventually F1 ended up with these absurd cars that barely even look like normal cars anymore. Modern Formula 1 cars' speed can exceed 340 km per hour, and that's not even the limit. Under the right circumstances, some have come close to 370 km per hour. F1 cars can accelerate from 0 to 100 km per hour in roughly 2.5 seconds. The amount of grip and braking performance these cars generate is honestly difficult to comprehend until you see it yourself, and the discoveries made in Formula 1 don't always stay trapped in Formula 1. Over the decades, lessons learned in F1 racing have influenced safety systems, aerodynamics, materials, data analysis, and countless other technologies that eventually found their ways into road cars. F1 isn't just racing. The countless amounts of data collected by the sensor attached all over the car gives us an insane amount of data that improves the whole automobile industry. F1 is not only a sport for nerds, but also it's one of the most physically demanding sports in the world. The drivers in F1 races are a fireproof racing suit made from a material called Nomex to prevent severe burns or injury in case of an accident. It's fantastic at protecting them from heat and flames. It's also fantastic at trapping body heat. Normally your body cools itself down by letting sweat evaporate off your skin. With the suit an F1 driver is wearing, the sweat has nowhere to go. The driver is surrounded by heat from the engine, brakes, electronics and the environment. During particularly hot races, cockpit temperatures can exceed 50 degrees Celsius. In races like Singapore, drivers can lose between 3 and 5 kg of body weight throughout sweat alone. And that's just the beginning. To slow the car down effectively, drivers have to hit the brake pedal with over 100 kilograms of force. Imagine doing a one-legged leg press repeatedly while driving at over 300 kilometers per hour. Now at the cornering force. F1 cars corner so quickly, drivers regularly experience forces of 5G or more. A human head and helmet weighs roughly 7 kilograms. At 5G, that suddenly feels closer to 35 kilograms. And the drivers have to hold that weight through corner after corner after corner for nearly 2 hours. That's why F1 drivers spend so much time training their necks. And then there is the cardio. An F1 race is basically 2 hours of non-stop physical effort. A driver's heart rate often sits between 160 and 180 beats per minute for most of the race, sometimes even higher during intense battle. Driving an F1 car isn't just driving. It's like trying to operate a fighter jet while somebody is actively trying to overtake you. F1 drivers have reaction times of around 100 to 200 milliseconds. Their hands are constantly making split-second adjustments on a steering wheel, featuring over 30 buttons, dials and switches, continuously adjusting settings, managing tires, managing battery deployment, listening to engineers, following strategy, saving fuel and making split-second decisions every lap. Then they are also giving constant feedback to the engineers while trying to stay calm when someone tries to cut them off on the edge. Then there is the huge mental pressure of driving and being in F1. There are hundreds of people in a team, all counting on you. And also there is the pressure of being only one of 20 drivers in the world. Every mistake gets analyzed by millions of fans. Every bad race gets criticized. Every crash gets replayed. And behind them stands an entire team of engineers, mechanics, strategists, and staffs depending on an F1 driver to perform their best. Now let's talk about how a F1 season actually works. F1 has one season per year. A F1 season is basically one long championship that lasts the entire year. A F1 season is made up of 24 Grand Prix weekends held around the world. Each event or Grand Prix is 3 days. Practice, qualifying, race day. Practice is where teams gather information. They test different setups, learn about tire behavior, and figure out how to make the car as fast as possible. Qualifying day is very important because here is how this works. The order of who does the fastest lap on qualifying day becomes the lineup at the starting line on race day. In an F1 race, passing isn't easy, so where you start on the race day is a big deal. Then comes the race itself. Drivers earn points based on where they finish. The better the result, the more points they score. Those points count toward the driver's championship. At the exact same time, those same points count toward the Constructors' championship. And that's where things get interesting, because sometimes the driver's goal and the team's goal don't perfectly align. You can hear it on the radio when teams have one strategy, like they want to let drivers pass each other, and drivers get really mad about it.
If it's quicker, we like 3. That's very unfair, but okay.
Formula One can be incredibly technical, strategic, physical, competitive, complicated, and fascinating. But when we strip everything else away, it comes down to something incredibly simple. Drivers drive as fast as possible. Engineers build the fastest car possible and then spend the entire season trying to make it even faster.